employment as pathway to contribute and participate in material ways to Africa's innovation, industrialization, and growth by mastering ICT. I think we've heard it already. 90% of the jobs to come will be digitally, will be sensitive to digitalization. So ICT becomes very central. Now I want to take you through the different phases. The first one of the program, the first one is the coding camps. And we already alluded to that. Those coding camps take place at continental, regional, and national levels. And here we have the groups who have been trained here and who will go and help with those coding camps. Second is the mainstreaming ICT, gender and coding in national curricula in Africa. And we heard the commitment that was made by the representative of the African Union, the HHSD. And through the African Union, the member states, to really work hard to ensure that ICT is mainstream in the curricula. That's one way to go and to fast track it and make it happen. So we are really happy to hear this commitment, and we look forward to having the support and the continued engagement of governments of member states to ensure that we get to the point we are leading to, we want to go to. So mainstreaming into national curricula, and a guide had been developed to mainstream it and ensure that coding in the national curriculum can be there to support education ministries, because we are working with the ministries of gender, but we are also working with the ministries of education and the ministries in charge of science and technology in all the 11 countries. So those three ministers will be the one really leading at national level the efforts and help ensure that the curriculum are sensitive to that and that the resources are also mobilized. The third step is the media campaign. And for that, we already plan, and we have organized it, but we plan the webinar series, the storytelling, highlighting role models, advocacy, and promoting innovation, leveraging tech for impact from the program. This is not planned, but I want to give you a quick example. That's a real example of a girl who attended a coding camp in one country, learned the skills, and decided when she went home to make a presentation to her mom. And her mom told her that she was running for office because the elections were getting close. She was running for office, and she didn't have money, as it happens a lot. So she was struggling with her WhatsApp messages. Her daughter, because she had that new skill, took her mom's photo and decided to establish an Instagram page, a WhatsApp page, a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and put some messaging for her mom. Before you knew it, the mom became the superstar and went and talked to her friends, and her friends came, and that young girl, who is 18, decided to do the same for all the friends of her mom who were running for office. So what we mean by that is that you empowered a young girl who is 18, and it impacted the fight for leadership and for political participation, because those women were able to reach more people. So this is just an illustration of how we can use these skills to go beyond empowering the girls. It has an impact on their safety, it has an impact on their leadership skills, but it has an impact on the community. The first one is the online platform. The platform has a basic online mentorship and courses, training tools, job opportunity, postings, and promotion of innovative programs developed by participants. And the e-learning platform will be finalized and duly operational in 2022. And it's led by our partner and our colleagues from the ITU. Now, I want to come to the second phase of this AGCCI. And for the second phase, we have the training of trainers. I would like to see the 3 trainers. Are they in the room? Can you stand just so people can see you and recognize you? Yes, these are the 3 trainers who conducted the training, who were part of the training, and they trained over 60 participants. Those participants will go back to the 11 countries to conduct the coding camps. And those trainers are from 11 countries. Can you just stand? Those who were trained, can you just stand? Thank you very much. They came from 11 countries and they are going back with a lot of skills. And actually, no, 10 will go back. The Tanzanian delegation will stay here. They are not going. They will stay here and they will be the ones leading the rest of the program, including the coding camps that will take place here in Tanzania. They will also help with the revitalization and launch of the online e-learning platform. Yes, Madam Minister, I don't want them because I don't want to be in trouble. I don't want the delegation from Tanzania to join the others to leave the country. You stay. And then we go to the regional activities where we revitalize and launch the online e-learning platform. I referred to that shortly. I referred to that, and it's led by ITU with our colleagues who are sitting in Addis Ababa and in Geneva. We will ensure through that the full functionality of the platform, which will really be a good tool to interact. And this will also allow to link AGCCI beneficiaries with opportunities. We are talking about learning opportunities, job opportunities, business opportunities, but most importantly, just feeling good about skills and being able to go and navigate. Because I'm a little challenged and I see the difference really when I call my young colleagues and they come and I give them my phone and in 2 minutes they hand it back to me and I'm like, wow, why can't I do as well as that? So just that confidence I think is something that is extremely important. Also on the regional activities, we strengthen the engagement with women in ICT. I think we mentioned that, the moderator mentioned it here. The teachers, the ICT entrepreneurs in the AGCCI program, so they inspire and motivate the learners through these virtual dialogues, as well as the e-learning platform that I mentioned. Finally, we also, through this AGCCI initiative and at regional level, hold virtual webinars with girls who code to ensure continuous quality education. Now let's go to the national level. At the national level, you remember we mentioned the countries, the 11 countries, and I will give you the list shortly. We will host 20 national coding camps in 10 priority countries to train young girl coders with coding skills. And we will have 2 coding camps per country. We will also, through the national activities, ensure mainstreaming of ICT, gender and coding into the national curricula, and that's where the government role is extremely important, Madam Minister. This integration of ICT in the curricula is really something that we are looking forward to, and we need your support. on that. Okay. Also, always on the national activities, provide all learners with equipment and technology, because laptops will be procured to be given to those who will attend the coding camps, to allow them to have the equipment that they need. Smartphones, iPad, and modems also will be provided to ensure access to internet and to allow them to continue the learning. We will also, through the national activities, set up AGCCI learning centers in partnership with local learning training institutions in the 11 priority countries. And each learning center will accommodate a maximum of 50 girls. And it's where also, I don't know if we have tech companies in this room, but we will also look forward to the support of the tech companies, because the center can be established from scratch, but sometimes there may be some spaces that can be used and operationalized to serve as learning centers. And for that, the tech companies and other private companies based here in Tanzania and in the 10 other countries can be of good help. And we look forward also to not only the advocacy from the government, but the advocacy from the donor community, the partners, and I'm happy to see the RC here, because he can also talk to other UN agencies to ensure that we are all together in this, because this will help us go and fast track the process. In also these national activities, we will revitalize and launch the online e-learning platform and ensure the full functionality. So we do it at regional level, but we also do it at country level. Now, I had promised you, and this will be my last slide. No, last but one. And you will see why. I had promised that I would give you the list of priority countries. So, are you ready? Yes. Burundi. DRC. Kenya. Mali. Mozambique. Niger. Rwanda. South Africa. Senegal. Tanzania. Tanzania, oh yeah. And Uganda. So I wanted to end it here, and thank you very much for your attention. Merci beaucoup. Aniche, jërëjëf, muito obrigada, shukran, asante sana, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Awa. And great job on the energy. As you can see, Tanzania does not disappoint. Can we get another round of applause? I love that. Thank you so much, Asante. So, we now have a poem by Miss Marie Shaba, if I'm not mistaken. Technical department, are we ready for that? Okay. Karibu-san.
Asante sana. I'm very happy and very encouraged to be part of this launch. For me, this is a very special initiation song. ICT is the new initiation song for the African young women and girls of the 21st century. 21st century used to be the future, but now the future is here. I'm going to present a poem, Hers for Taking. It's a poem about female empowerment. It was written by Ashia Agrawal. It's a very beautiful song. A new baby born smiles, gazing at her mother with playful eyes. She's so innocent, so young. The world is hers for taking. And a little girl laughs, alone in the silent playground, her eyes closed, pigtails whipping through the wind without a care. The world is hers for taking. And a young lady cries, tiptoeing to the edge of the cliff. She has a choice, irreversible, but she won't, because the world is hers for taking. A middle-aged woman reads to a classroom of eager faces, staring expectantly at her. She prepares to share with each and every one. The ultimate power is knowledge. The world is hers for taking. A grandmother speaks, telling her story to all those who want to hear. She has lived many lives, and each one of them she has known. The world is hers for the taking. All these women, their power, their ideas, their stories, the world tries to reduce them to less than their worth. But it has failed, because the world has always been and will always be theirs for the taking. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that beautiful poem, Ms. Marie Shaba. Right, so now we will be joined virtually by Ms. Anne Rachel Ine, who is the Regional Director for Africa for International Telecommunication Union, ITU. I hope we're ready for her now. As we wait for that again, just a reminder, the hashtag is Girls Can Code. So please feel free to share images as well as tweet on social media, Facebook, and tag the accounts AGCII, as well as UN Women Africa and the African Union Commission as well. Okay, so I see that there's a technical difficulty there. We're just going to move over to the next speaker. No? We got her? Oh, okay. Miss Anne Rachel, can you hear us? Can you say something, please? I see that you're on mute. If you can hear us, please give us a sign. It's Girls Can Code. It's an event for people in tech, and we're having a technical difficulty. Okay. Miss Ann Rachel, are you there? No? Okay, so I would suggest that we go over to the next speaker as we work on that. She's there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, with a bit of distortion, but we can hear you. How can we balance that? Carol, got you. Okay. All right, there. Hi, Caroline.
Hello, and thank you very much for having us. Apologies, Miss Anne Rochelle is opening another event, and on her behalf, I'll kindly deliver her remarks.
Karibu sana.
Thank you. Honorable ministers, the representatives from the African Union, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, the UN family representatives, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to join you in the launch of the second phase of the African Girls Can Code initiative to empower young girls with digital skills and coding capabilities to join the ICT sector to advance digital transformation in Africa. The digital gender divide is still persistent, with only 28% of women working in the field of science and technology, highlighting the urgent need for inclusion of young girls and women in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, related activities, and their increased participation in digital technologies. Following the great achievements from the first phase of the initiative, further both during and after the coding camps through increased interaction and to foster innovation through the exchange of experiences and continuous learning. In order to ensure sustainability of the platform, ITU proposed the migration of the platform to be hosted on the ITU Academy, which provides enhanced capacity, functionalities that can be leveraged with a range of capacity development activities. The ITU Academy also provides a constantly evolving e-learning platform that aims to optimize the learning experience for the users. Today, we also celebrate the annual Girls in ICT Day, and with the theme on access and safety, we recognize the challenges that young girls and women face while accessing the internet, which not only hinders their ability to develop the necessary digital skills, but also influences their ability to pursue careers in the ICT field. It is therefore important that through our combined efforts, we continue to share knowledge and experiences to equip young girls and women with the relevant digital skills to bridge the gender-digital divide and ensure improved access to digital technologies in a safe manner. Ladies and gentlemen, ITU remains committed through such initiatives to build and strengthen multi-stakeholder partnerships, to develop digital skills, to strengthen digital infrastructure, to engage young girls and women in the ICT sector, and enable meaningful connectivity for all in a safe manner. I would like to thank you all for the collaboration, and I encourage all the young girls and women to actively engage and drive the digital development agenda in their local communities to advance digital transformation in the Africa region. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and I wish you all fruitful deliberations.
Thank you for that, Caroline. Much pleasure. Right, so this particular section, I'm going to insist that the speakers at least try to maintain 5 minutes, follow through Caroline's example. And no pressure, but Dr. Tapiwa Uchizi Nyasulu Reyemamu, Head of Division, Gender Policy and Development African Union Commission, please, karibu sana.
Well, that was really putting me on the spot, but I'll try my best. Thanks, Carol. I think it's afternoon, so it's habari za mchana. Well, I'm saying this because I am home. Yeah. Niko nyumbani. Well, I've been put aside so many times by, friends here, colleagues, asking, Remamu, where are you from? Well, I'm here to put, it out there that, well, I'm home. I'm from Malawi, but married to a Tanzanian. That's why you have the Remamu side. So, asante sana mawifi na mashemeji. Well, Ms. Zabiba Kavuma, UN Women and Deputy Regional Director, SRO, Mrs. Zlatan Milicic, United Nations Resident Coordinator, Tanzania, Ambassador, Francois Dumont, Head of Mission and Permanent Representative to the African Union, IGAD and UNECA, and Representative of Government of Belgium in Ethiopia, and Ambassador Van Acker Peter, Representative of Government of Belgium in Tanzania, Honorable Dr. Dorothy Gwajima, Minister for Community Development, Gender, Women, Special Groups, all ministers in ICT, gender, and education represented here in person as well as virtually, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, all the progressive men and young men who are in this room. Happy International Girls in ICT Day. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the African Union Commission, permit me to convey warm greetings from our chairperson, His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, and also from the acting director of the Women, Gender and Youth Directorate, Ms. Prudence Gwenya, who couldn't make it. And on my own behalf, I am delighted to be part of this launching event of the second phase of the African Girls Can Code initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the African Girls Can Code is a significant initiative in enhancing the participation of young women and girls in the STEM sector with relevant and in-demand skills. This launch is a proud moment for all of us as it stands for the leapfrogging of young women and girls into the digital age we are all undeniably heading for. As my esteemed colleagues mentioned earlier on and even during the opening ceremony, it is vital to engage young women and girls into the core skills that are already in demand in the upcoming fourth industrial revolution. The youth are Africa's biggest resource, and its growing force brings about immense opportunities for the continent's development. In 2020, the youth population that's ages between 15 and 35 in Africa was announced to be at 454.5 million and is predicted to grow by 81.4% by 2100. Unfortunately, young women and girls are often left behind in their participation in the tech sector and overall STEM due to cultural and society norms, lack of representation or sharing of experiences, inadequate or non-existent provision of capacity and policies. Providing these vital skills for young women and girls equips them with abilities for employment, entrepreneurship, and innovation, and overall further engagement in economic activities. The African Union, through the Women, Gender and Youth Directorate that I represent, ensures that the gender parity agenda, that's the 50-50 representation, as well as the youth quota decision of 35%, is equally entrenched in all areas of the Commission, the African member states, the AU organs, the regional economic communities. We do this through various number of activities and programs and innovations as well as initiatives. That is through the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Unit that we're housing within the Women, Gender and Youth Directorate, which has tasked the pushing of the narrative and engaging the youth at large. On women development and gender and development, we have been avidly pushing for this through the implementation of our policies, documents, and their continued monitoring and evaluation through our scorecards and other initiatives that are being supported by various partners that we do have even represented in this room. Well, we've also initiated during the International Women's Day through our Deputy Chairperson, Dr. Monique, we did launch what we're calling the Women and Youth Financial and Economic Initiative for 2020 to 2030. That stems from the decision that our heads of state and government adopted of the African Women's Decade on Financial and Economic Inclusion for 2020 to 2030. We do also have an initiative that we're calling as 1 Million Next Level initiative that is meant to empower and unlock the opportunities for our young women and girls and the young men within, on the continent itself. So as such, this is a proud moment to be part of here. Our continent is avidly pushing for industrialization and is believed that the upcoming change is more inclusive, sustainable, and transformative initiative to its development. Technology connects us across borders, and we want Africa to be at the forefront of the industrial revolution. A first step for such transformation is in pushing for digital literacy for all, ensuring that we build a generation of technically equipped youth that will continue to motivate enterprise and promote development in the continent. Ladies and gentlemen, the African Union Commission is committed to scaling up these efforts during the second phase of the initiative as we've launched it today. We have come far alongside the UN Women together with ITU since the launch of the first phase of the initiative in 2018 and has trained more than 600 girls with the digital skills, developed a gender and ICT mainstreaming guidance and all that. With that, allow me to thank the government of Belgium, UN Women, ITU, UNESCO, Unicef, and UNECA, and all our private sector partners for continuously the cause of empowering and developing young minds, especially our girls on the continent. I would like to thank also for the government of Tanzania for co-hosting the launch event and going to spearheading and leading on the camps that are going to be organized. We really appreciate and take that very well, and we thank you from the African Union Commission. As I conclude, I would like to say this. I would like to propose a challenge to all of us here, including the girls and the trainers and the trainees here. The challenge is that let's challenge the young girls and women to create products that facilitate business processes, to create products that pose as solutions to challenges in their communities, challenging the partners with promoting and creating more initiatives that empower young women and girls in the STEM sector, that bring them in, keeping them with the sector. Let's keep this momentum and keep pushing for the increased participation of young women and girls in the STEM sector. Shukran, obrigado. Thank you. Asante.
Asante sana wifi. And it is only because you are wifi that's why I let you go beyond the 5 minutes. We love our wifis here in Tanzania. Okay. Thank you for that. We'll now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Jean-Paul Adama, who is the Director of Technology, Climate Change and Natural Resources Division of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, who is joining us virtually. Thank you. Mr. Jean-Paul, can you say something, please?
Thank you very much, moderator. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Karibu sana.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I've really been absorbing the energy even from a distance. So thank you so much for involving us in this event, even if at a distance. So Your Excellency, Minister Dorothy Gwajima, Your Excellencies and Ministers, Ambassadors François Dumont and Peter Van Acker, the UN Resident Coordinator and dear representatives of UN organizations, including UN Women, UNESCO, ITU and Unicef, and our dear partners at the African Union, and of course, very importantly, all of the participants of African Girls Can Code. We are extremely proud of you, and we look forward to what you will show us, what you can do in the future. We are delighted to support the second phase of the African Girls Can Code initiative, and we look forward to continue to build synergies with the Economic Commission for Africa's Connected African Girls Coding Camps. I would like to reiterate the thanks to the Government of Belgium, UN Women, ITU, UNESCO, UNICEF and AUC for facilitating and realizing the launch of this second phase, and also to the Government of Tanzania for hosting it and showing such admirable leadership. Digital skills are a key component to ensure inclusion for delivery of the SDGs, and they are part of the essential education package that truly leads to empowerment. But let's first recognize that there is progress on the continent. Let us recognize the inspiring trends driving the continent forward. Firstly, African universities now have the highest percentage of women science graduates in the world. The report from March 2022 of the Times Higher Education and UNESCO found that 47% of African university science, technology, engineering, and mathematics graduates, undergraduate and postgraduate levels are women. That compares favorably with 42% for Europe, 41% in Asia and South America, and 39% for North America. However, the African region has the world's largest digital gender gap, with only 24% of women using the internet compared to 34% of men, according to the ITU. And COVID-19, unfortunately, is making this worse. Analysis undertaken by ECA has underlined the direct correlation between access to education and skill
Is the problem on our side or theirs? Their side? Okay. Okay. So maybe just a few seconds for him to reconnect. Mr. Jean?
Thank you.
Okay.
I am back.
Okay.
I am so sorry. I think I had a digital meltdown. But I hope you can hear me well now.
Yes, we can hear you.
So let me proceed. So I'd just like to outline that we at the ECA, we launched our first Connected African Girls Camp as part of this African Girls Can Code initiative in 2020 to mark the 75th anniversary of the United Nations in Addis Ababa. And let me just underline some of the accomplishments so far. We've trained girls and young women in a number of areas, including technical skills in artificial intelligence, in animation, gaming and web development, also using coding for development of fashion, robotics and Internet of Things, design thinking, computational thinking, cybersecurity and online safety, as well as 3D printing. The trainings have also aimed to look at some of the other skills that are part of the current world, including developing leadership skills and public speaking, and also engagement on climate change. We've had 3 hybrid coding camps, and that includes the first one in Ethiopia with 124 in-person participants. In July 2021, simultaneously in 3 cities in Cameroon, Yaoundé, Buea, and Douala. And in December 2021 in the Republic of Guinea. The initiative in total, because it has connected young women and girls both physically and virtually, and we have connected over 15,000 young women and girls through this initiative. 178 innovative projects have been developed, 40 of which have been recognized for their contributions to solving socioeconomic challenges facing the continent. The initiative is also designed for women and by women, with 80% of trainers who are female. We're also looking forward to build that linkage with the opportunity to build business opportunities as part of our work with the Alibaba Group of Africa's Business Heroes program, where selected girls from the camp are matched to mentors who can help them develop their potential business. But also what we've been very proud is that alumni from the African Girls Can Code initiatives have also won recognition, including one alumnus, Lydia Bahanu, who won the Writers Contest sponsored by MasterCard. And she's also ITU's Youth Envoy for Generation Connect. Congratulations to Lydia. I think she epitomizes what is possible through this kind of initiative. To conclude, ECA is pleased to collaborate on the second phase. We urge you to continue supporting all of these initiatives. We will be having our next Connected African Girls Coding Camp in Dakar, Senegal, with connection also possible online from the 11th to the 17th of May, so in less than 2 weeks. And this will be in the margins of the Economic Commission for Africa Conference of African Ministers of Finance, Planning, and Economic Development. We hope that you can all can join, and we also wish the African Girls Can Code initiative great success in this second phase. Thank you, Tanzania, and thank you to all the participants. Thank you very much. Asante sana.
Asante sana, Mr. Jean-Paul Adama, Director of Technology, Climate Change and Natural Resources Division from UNECA. Right, so first of all, I'd like to acknowledge that our Honorable Minister is still with us, despite us running behind time. Thank you for that. One thing you will know about Dr. Dorothy Gwajima is, first of all, she's always on time, very early to any event, and she stays till the end, from my experience. So we appreciate you for that, Honorable Minister. Right, so I would like now to call Mr. Daniel Baheta, who is the Acting Deputy Representative to Unicef in Tanzania, but he will also be speaking on behalf of Unicef, liaison to the AU and ECA. Karibu sana, Daniel.
Jambo. Good morning. No, you know, I'm a teacher. This energy is not going to work for me. Good morning. Habari za mchana. Madam Minister, let me start with my Kiswahili because this is the assignment. Nawasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Mungu wa Tanzania. Thank you so much. Yes, I think even my people who have resisted to other languages have started speaking Kiswahili. I heard the Minister of Education of Ethiopia recently saying Kiswahili has become a teaching language. Yeah. And so imagine we have already 87 languages that we are competing with. Now we are adding Kiswahili, but I think, and I pray to God that will unify us. So that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. On behalf of the UNICEF family, on behalf of our colleagues in Addis, in our regional office, our global UNICEF office working on this, on behalf of the UNICEF family here, on behalf of the development partners, which I also represent here in Tanzania. Madam Minister, first of all, let me extremely express my gratitude and your extremely wonderful energy for inviting us, and I'm extremely humbled to be here. I also want to recognize on behalf of all the men in the room, we are here because we really mean it. We want to ensure my daughters, our sisters, our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties, all the women who have taken care of us are equally represented in the digital space. It's important to also recognize the fact that our work is still difficult. I think I want to start with some issues that are around the education space that are really extremely difficult. Globally, we have a learning poverty. Globally, we're suffering because kids are either not at school, and if they're at school, they're not learning. So it is incredibly important for us to remember this digital space is an equalizer. Education is an equalizer. Digital learning is an equalizer. But I just want to remind you that globally today, and I want you to remember this, between the age of 7 to 10, kids who are 10 years old, 7 out of 10 are not able to read. Let me repeat this. At age 10, 7 out of 10 boys and girls are not able to read. And this is a global crisis, and we all need to take a note that, of course, this is something that we can't just ignore. So, of course, digital learning is going to help us to expedite, to ensure that everyone has access to equitable quality learning. And this is our commitment. We continue to work with the Ministry of Education, but I also want to let you know, I just wanted to give you a few data. I know I only have 5 minutes. 1 in 4 girls, age 15 to 19, neither are employed or are in school, comparing to 1 in 10 boys at the same age. So it's not fair. It's not about, if we talk about fairness, this is not fair. And Madam Minister, you need to continue to push us. STEM, and I just want to give you also a data on STEM. Of course, only 15% of girls are either graduate or studying in STEM, in comparison to, of course, in fact, you know, if I say 15%, you know the difference, so let me not even. 90% of the job that requires technology is occupied only by 15% of girls and women. So there is an issue we need to address. What are we doing here in Tanzania? COVID taught us a very difficult lesson, that we were not ready. I want to recognize my brother, the permanent secretary from Zanzibar, who is here. During COVID time in Zanzibar and in the mainland, we were struck by surprise, so we went to television, we went to radio, we went to digital, but we did not have the content. We were not ready. Let's just recognize that it was a challenge. And I remember your sister Ave Maria calling me, Madam Dr. Ave Maria calling me to say, Daniel, surely we're not ready, let's move. And as a result, we needed to rethink the way we work on digital learning. Currently, we are mapping out the Tanzania digital space with the Ministry of Education, but I often think we are not connected. As we are doing the mapping, for example, as I was sitting there, I said, have we looked at the gender component of the mapping? Maybe we have not. We have not done the work, so maybe we need to look at gender and the digital mapping. So Ayub, this is a task. This is an action we can take immediately. You and women, please push us. Why are we investing on girls? It prepares them for future, it supports them to lead the prosperous life, but most importantly, you educate a girl, you educate a village. You educate a girl, you educate her family. You're sure my daughters are educated because my wife is educated. This is a very simple formula. When women are educated, the community is educated. Therefore, we need to invest. We have a few projects where we're working on the digital space. Our commitment to you is we have resources, for example, both in Zanzibar and in mainland, we have received from the generosity of the Canadian government on STEM, on girls' education, for about $20 million. We will continue to invest with the Ministry of Education that resources on STEM, on maths, on girls, so we can empower and ensure. But my plea, my request is, and I always end, and I always ask the young people who are in this room, who are in digital space, who are coding, who are learning, we can't just talk about coding or learning and so on. Listen, this iPad is not made in Tanzania. In 10 years' time, I don't want to talk about coding. In 10 years' time, I want the minister to launch Made in Tanzania iPad. That should be our goal. That should be where we need to go. It's coding, great. We need to, of course, learn the STEM. But it's about production. If we want to be competitive in the world, we need to produce and use and be the author of our own systems, our own tools. So please, those young people who are coding, please stand up. Who are trained, I want to recognize you, the people who have been trained. I humbly request you, I want to recognize you, but I want to humbly request you aim for helping us to create made in Africa iPads, iPhones, computers, technology. That is a task. That is a responsibility. That is a goal we need to aim for. Asanteni sana.
I like that. Thank you for the challenge, Daniel. But not just tablets. I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot of apps as well. Yes, that are made locally and considering the local specific context. Right, Asante. So now we'll have the representative from UNESCO, Ms. Jennifer Kota, to give her remarks. Karibu sana. A round of applause, please. I know we're about to run out of energy, but please hang in there just a few more minutes. Karibu.
Honorable Minister of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, Permanent Secretaries and other government representatives, Ambassador Francois Dumont, UN Resident Coordinator, African Union representatives, representative for UN Women, other UN colleagues, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. My name is Jennifer Kota. I'm here representing my colleague, Faith Shayo, who is the officer in charge, and on behalf of our colleagues also from ICBA Addis. So I will just deliver the statements that was prepared for this occasion. UNESCO has two global corporate priorities, which are Africa and gender. We have been working on gender and STEM and STEAM education in different countries in Africa. For example, the Teach Her Project initiative, Gender Responsive Pedagogy in STEM, and STEAM, which is STEM plus Arts and Design for selected countries, including Tanzania. UNESCO collaborated with Microsoft to offer a training session on girls coding in that project. Microsoft used its cloud-based coding activities to attract girls towards STEAM in general and coding in particular. UNESCO has also been implementing the HNA project on girls' education in Ethiopia and Ghana. Under that project, ICBA staff offered training on the girl coding to teacher education institutions in Ethiopia and Ghana. UNESCO is firmly committed to scale up these initiatives to more African countries through partnership and goodwill. Our principle is African solutions to African challenges, and we work together with African institutions such as FAWE and CEMASTEA. We also collaborate with African Union Commissions through Continental Education Strategy for Africa. UNESCO believes in the power of girls and women to achieve the Africa we want. 2063 African Girls Can Code initiative is essential. Gender equity and opportunity for girls to code and lead science is our dream and our future. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, Ms. Jennifer. We will now be joined virtually by Buba Yugbare, who is now speaking on behalf of Dr. Rita Bizono. No? She's not connected. Okay, right. Okay, so we will now move on to the next element in our program. We have two representatives who are from the AGCCI alumni, two beautiful girls. Please join me on stage for your presentation, please. Karibuni sana. So this is the second phase of the AGCCI, but these lovely young women are from the first phase, and they have something to say. Karibu.
Thank you so much, Ms. Carol. All protocol observed. My name is Teresa Joseph John. I'm Tanzanian, so karibuni nyumbani. So I'm the AGCCI alumni, African Girls Can Code Initiative alumni of the 2019 camp that was held in South Africa, Pretoria. This camp was really an amazing camp, and it's a pleasure that today I'm part of the African Girls Can Code Initiative AGCCI second phase launch. It's a pleasure that I'm here, and I'm very happy to see you all, that you have joined us for this second phase launch. I would love to get some applause from everyone, please. Okay, so before, I never had deep understandings about what coding exactly was. As in my society, I actually live in just a small, I can call village, though it's currently developing, Satan town in Shinyanga region known as Kishap district. So in my community, actually parents don't talk a lot about ICT careers. It's just more about be a doctor, be a nurse, be a teacher, but the ICT-related careers are not being spoken in the community. So the AGCCI gave me the opportunity and a wide range of awareness on what exactly careers are careers related on the ICT. So after the camp, as I was impacted with the coding knowledge, I was made confident and determined to go and be a good ambassador to my fellow youths and also share my experiences and awareness about ICT and also about the coding. So by then, I was still a high school student. So when I went back to my high school, Kirakala Secondary School in Morogoro, I was able to share what exactly I learned from South Africa. And the good news is that there are some girls also from Kirakala who are currently taking Bachelor in Cybersecurity in UDOM University. So I'm proud of them. And back in my society, I've been reaching throughout girls because most schools, ICT is not included as a mandatory curriculum. So there are girls who doesn't know about ICT. So I reach out to girls and share at least what ICT is, so that if girls finish up primary schools and go to secondary schools, and after secondary school go to high school, at least have the knowledge that, oh, I can measure in certain ICT-related careers. I can become a web developer. I can become a software engineer. So that's what I've been doing after the camp. So during the camp, we had different programs, and I believe trainers have been trained so far for the second phase. So I was in the animation group, making some animation videos. And I've been doing some videos, which I share with my fellow colleagues in the society so far. So it's amazing, and I believe that the second phase is going to reach as many grades as possible, so as we can build the 2063 agenda of the Africa we want. Thank you.
Bonjour à tous. Je m'appelle Fatou. Je viens du Sénégal. Et je voulais vous faire part lors de notre première édition, lors du camp codage en Éthiopie. C'était en 2018. Je venais juste d'avoir mon baccalauréat, mais je ne savais pas quelle formation que je dois faire. Et dans mon pays, au Sénégal, on a la tendance de dire que l'informatique est réservée aux hommes. Et moi, j'avais peur de faire des cours en informatique, vu qu'il y avait peu de femmes qui faisaient l'informatique, qui faisaient le codage aussi. Donc, une fois avoir participé au camp de codage African Girls Can Code en 2018, après, j'ai pu choisir de faire développement web et mobile. Et grâce à cette formation, je suis actuellement en master. Je suis en master en développement web. Et après avoir fait aussi le camp coding, Addis Abeba, après avoir fait cette camp, il y a beaucoup de jeunes filles sénégalaises qui m'ont contacté pour me demander quelle formation je suis en train de faire. Parce que j'étais comme une modèle pour eux. Elles me demandaient comment elles vont faire pour faire du codage, comment faire pour faire partie des codeurs et quelle formation faut-il choisir pour devenir codeur. Et tout ça, c'est grâce à African Girls Can Code, grâce à l'initiative, grâce à l'Union africaine femmes et tous les partenaires aussi nous ont aidés et nous ont donné une opportunité que toutes les jeunes filles rêvent d'avoir. Et je voudrais que cette initiative parte dans tous les pays africains et toutes les jeunes filles puissent y bénéficier de cette initiative. Je suis vraiment, vraiment chanceuse d'en faire partie de cette initiative et d'être parmi les jeunes filles qui ont été formées par cette initiative. Et je compte vraiment de ne pas les décevoir. Je compte devenir une entrepreneur en technologie, en fait. Je suis actuellement en train de préparer 3 projets pour trouver des solutions qui vont être utiles pour mon pays, au Sénégal. Parce qu'il y a des jeunes filles, après avoir eu leur baccalauréat, ils ne savent pas utiliser les ordinateurs. Elles ne savent pas utiliser les ordinateurs. Et j'ai décidé de partir dans des établissements, tous les établissements que je peux y aller, pour les initier, pour les montrer comment faire pour s'inscrire dans les campus France et faire le choix d'études. Et s'ils veulent aussi faire informatique, il n'y a pas de barrage, ils peuvent faire l'informatique comme toutes les jeunes, toutes les personnes du moins. Et c'était aussi, il y a un autre projet que j'ai pensé lors du Covid-19. Ce projet s'appelle Bana Bana, c'est un site de e-commerce qui permet aussi aux gens, lors du Covid-19, on a resté 3 mois sans pouvoir sortir, faire nos achats et faire des activités. Maintenant, ce site que j'ai créé, je l'ai créé en 2 ou 3 semaines. C'était la première fois que j'ai créé un site web. Et ce site-là a permis beaucoup de personnes de mettre leurs produits et d'autres vont commander pour faire les achats en ligne au lieu de se déplacer alors qu'il y avait la maladie qui était dehors. Donc, il y a aussi un autre projet qui s'appelle Kitech. Kitech, c'est un projet qui permet de recevoir beaucoup de jeunes, des jeunes filles et des garçons aussi, pour qu'ils puissent commencer à coder, d'apprendre à coder avec nous. Et après avoir eu cette formation avec nous les aidons aussi à pouvoir former d'autres jeunes dans les sous-régions. On veut décentraliser l'informatique au Sénégal. Parce qu'on a la tendance de voir que les jeunes qui sont dans les villes bénéficient beaucoup de ces formations de codage et tout, alors que ceux qui sont dans les sous-régions n'en bénéficient pas de ces formations. Et je compte vraiment sur les partenaires pour pouvoir réaliser tous ces projets, pour montrer qu'à l'initiative African Girls, ils n'ont pas perdu ce qu'ils ont fait pour nous. Je vous remercie. Merci beaucoup. Nous allons chanter ce qu'on a appris lors du premier cas. African Girls Can Code. Code on Africa, make Africa shine, shine every day for Africa. African girls can code, code on Africa, make Africa shine, shine every day for Africa.
Thank you so much for that, Fatou and Teresa. So I was standing there, and I think in a nutshell, we can all agree that she said girls can code, yes? Yeah, all that in French, I think what she was trying to say was girls can code. Okay. Okay, so again, thank you very much for that. Quite inspiring to see young ladies taking action and, being in the driver's seat. We now have a video, the AGCCI video, and allow me to... Tech Department, please note we have a request from the Minister. She would like to leave. We are way past the... So can we please hurry this up? Are we ready? Okay. So we're going to have someone speak before we proceed with the video. We have a representative from the African Union Commission. Can you please say something first so that we know that your audio is okay? We can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Karibu sana.
Can you hear me? Oh,
Yes, we can.
sorry. When you say karibu sana, I'm supposed to say my Swahili is a bit low. Sorry about that. Asante. Can you hear me? Shall I proceed? Okay. So, sorry, I'm taking the form of Dr. Rita, Commission of the African Union International for Girls and Women Education, Africa, and I would like to deliver H. So, all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being present, and thanks for this opportunity that will definitely allow African girls to reach a key and important milestone in our process to tackle digital illiteracy, if I may say so. So, going to the speech, as a specialized institution of the African Union under the Department of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, the African Union International Center for Girls and Women Education in Africa, AUCFR, is proud to be a partner of the significant and timely initiatives, those second phases being launched today. 2 years ago, Africa's education system was seriously disrupted by COVID-19, leaving many learners out of school and unable to continue with their education, especially girls. And prior to the pandemic, 52 million girls out of school going age were out due to COVID-19, and estimated additional 10 million girls might not return to school if we don't do anything. During this period of school disruption, many African Union member states took digital and ICT-based distance learning as a strategy to ensure continuity of learning for the student. However, according to the International Telecommunication Union, internet access at home in developing countries stand at 10% in rural areas and 25% in urban area, and hence, it was no surprise when millions of learners in the continent, especially girls, were left behind the digital distance learning train as they lack access to ICT and digital literacy skills, and are now struggling to catch up. The AUCFR, in its new strategic plan 2021 and 2025, and mandate to promote and advocate for girls and women education on the continent in particular, given the increase of fragile conflict and violence context, and the current challenge presented by COVID-19 in education, is putting strategic emphasis on building the resilience of girls and women through science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics that we call STEAM, and skills development has its third strategic axis. And also gender responsive education framework, curriculum reform in teacher education, and finally, education in emergency and humanitarian contexts. Ladies and gentlemen, we are supporting AU member states to adopt policies that not only encourage girls to return to school post-COVID-19, but also place emphasis on ensuring girls and young women develop STEM and ICT skills in line with the African Union Agenda 2063, which articulate that digital skills and ICT are critical at the 21st century. This is because we recognize that ICT, while holding huge positive potential to remove inequalities, can also be a driver of inequalities, especially gender inequalities. In education especially, the continued exclusion of girls and young women from training and access to ICT means they will be further left behind in both education, training, and employment opportunities. ITU predict that there will be 2 million technology jobs that cannot be filled because of lack of digital specialists by 2029. And the World Economic Forum further had that half of all current jobs will have disappeared by 2050 in favor of STEM-related jobs. This means those who are ICT and STEM-related will be better placed to find decent and well-paying employment. However, even with these stark estimates, girls and women are not catching on the digital revolution at the same pace as men. As we all know, and as we are marking the International Girls in ICT Day today, it's important to highlight some key data on women in STEM and ICT. According to a report of World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report in Cloud Computing, women make up only 14% of the workforce in engineering, 20% in ICT, 3% in data and artificial intelligence, 32%, and for artificial intelligence, 32%. Disheartening data considering the speed at which the world is changing, driven by STEM and the socio-economic empowerment potential that STEM holds for girls and women. We know why we need girls to be engaged in pursuing STEM, but how do we get the girl motivated to take up STEM/ICT related studies? By adopting gender intelligent and gender responsive methods of teaching and curricula, when teaching STEM to girls and eliminating harmful biases and gender stereotype that socialize girls to think STEM is for boys or men, and increasing investment in girls' education, particularly in STEM, ensuring ICTs, especially the internet, are affordable and accessible for all. The underrepresentation of girls and women in STEM is deeply rooted in unequal gender norms that tell them that subjects that require problem solving and an inquisitive mind are the preserve of boys. Given the evidence on how ICT and STEM are disrupting the job market, our girls deserve to access an education that prepare them for the job of the future so that they are ready and equipped to participate in the fourth industrial revolution. To conclude, allow me to congratulate the 66 trainees we went through the African Girls Can Code Initiative training of trainers from the 25th to the 27th of April and implored them to employ gender intelligent and gender responsive methods. In the task, they have to train girls and motivate them to take up coding. The Africa's girls and young women, I wish and happy International Girls in ICT Day. You are more than capable of being STEM creators and innovators. Africa's future is female, but you must begin now to learn the skills that will allow you to build the future the continent envisions you leading. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and I extend to you the greeting and the apologies from Dr. Rita Bistonot and entire greetings from the team of AUCTFA. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Asante sana, Mr. Buba Yubare, for that address. We're about to round up, so I'm going to now ask Dr. Tapiwa Uchizi Nyasulu Royemamu, also known as Wifi, yes, to come and give her closing remarks. Karibu.
Thank you so much, and all protocols observed. Well, all good things must come to an end, and it seems this one big event also, has come to an end right now. It's been a pleasure indeed to be part of this launch. Well, it's my absolute pleasure to make a few closing remarks and express gratitude to all those who made this event a reality. Indeed, this week has marked a positive continuation of such a commendable initiative that will provide essential 21st century skills in ICT to young girls, thus ensuring their active participation in fruitful economic activities as they move towards their lives. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the future of jobs and skills in Africa lie indeed in the highly technical sectors of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, etc. And it is vital that where we anticipate possible disruptions to our labor force, one step at a time. For perspective, it is estimated that 41% of all work activities in South Africa are susceptible to automation. Similarly, this is anticipated in Ethiopia with 44%, Nigeria with 46%, and Kenya with 52%. In addition to this, we are already experiencing a skills mismatch between what the market and employers are seeking and the supply of skilled human capital we produce. Efforts to address the need for future-oriented jobs are therefore generally appreciated and commended. In conclusion, allow me to thank once again our partners and collaborators, that's the UN Women, UNESCO, ITU, and others, for initiating this powerful initiative, and the government of Belgium once again in supporting it so generously, and with the government of Tanzania for hosting this auspicious event. We really thank you, Madam Minister, and the team. Together, we shall never leave any old or young woman behind in achieving Agenda 2063 and Sustainable Development Goals. To the technicians and the interpreters, you've made it possible for us to communicate here. We really thank you immensely for that. And the trainees and the trainers, we wish you the very best, and we know you're going to make it out there. Shine and shine and shine forever. You've really prepared all this for us, and I really also wish to thank my colleagues at the African Union Commission, alongside with the UN Women, in Addis Ababa. We've worked tirelessly, technically to make sure that, well, we deliver, and indeed you've delivered a very good event here in Dar es Salaam. And the team here in Dar es Salaam, as well at UN Women and the UN agencies, we really appreciate and thank you immensely for this. Well, with that, I would like to thank you and wish you all safe travels back home. Kwaheri, safari njema, bon voyage, and all the best to you all. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Asante. Wifi, I thought you were staying with us though. Yeah? You're leaving. Okay, last but not least, and again would like to appreciate your patience and enduring our program, I would like to welcome Honorable Riziki Pembe Juma, who is the Minister for Community Development, Gender, Elderly and Children, Zanzibar. Karibu sana, Honorable Riziki.
Asante sana. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Dorothy Gwajima, the Minister for Community Development, Gender, Women, and Special Groups, Principal Secretary from the Ministry of Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Ali Khamis Juma, Mr. Amon Mpanju, the Deputy Principal Secretary from the Ministry of Women, from Community Development, Gender, Women, and Special Groups in the United Republic of Tanzania. I'm sorry to say, maybe if I'm mistaken your names, because they're very difficult for me, but I will try my level best. So, mtanistahimilia sana. The UN Resident Coordination in Tanzania, Mr. Zlatan. You see, it's very difficult for me. The Ambassador Francois Dumont, the Head of Mission and Permanent Representative to the AU, IGAD and UNECA, Ambassador Van Eka Peter, Embassy of Belgium in Tanzania, Madam Zabib Kavuma, right? Oh, thank you very much. The UN Women Deputy Regional Director, Madam Awa Ndiaye, the UN Women Special Representatives to the AUC and UNECA, Madam Hadan Adu, the UN Women Representatives in Tanzania, colleagues and partners from the AU and UN, members of diplomatic corps, development partners, CSO and media representatives, dear ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum. Naomba niwasalimie kwa jamhuri, kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Tanzania oye! Wanawake oye! Na girls oye! Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here with all of you, this time to close the launching of the African Girls Can Code Initiative Phase 2, which is mentioned by some of the previous speakers, coincided with the International Girls in ICT Day, which falls on 28th of April every year. The remarks in the session today have all highlighted the critical role played by technology in all kinds of careers. Learning technical skills at a young age will set girls up for economic independence. I was very happy to note that the African Girls Can Code Initiative Phase 2 is targeting young girls between the age of 17 up 25, and this will remain the age group in the second phase launched this morning by the Honorable Minister. I commend the efforts to promoting gender-responsive STEM education, which recognizes and responds to the specific learning styles and needs of girls to attracting girls in these fields. Enhancing women's participation in STEM subjects is a key priority in Zanzibar and in Tanzania at large. Zanzibar Education Sector Development Plan 2016-17 to 2020-21 has put in place strategies to promote more girls, including girls with disability in TVET and STEM subjects, in order to sustain and capacitate the talent and skills on science subject and reduce in order to reduce the gap between women and men and girls. 157 students were trained on career readiness and 75 teachers were similarly trained as students. The training focused on training guidance and counseling teachers from each school in order to embed this capacity in the school and for the benefit of all students and not just STEM students. Dear ladies and gentlemen, also the program was equipped women more to be scientists according to Zanzibar gender policy and other sectors policy emphasizes the need of women who are specialized in science subjects and support to sustain their vision and mission. That's why the government prepared the enabling environment to support women and girls compete in science subjects and participation on development issues regardless their sex. Dear ladies and gentlemen, as Swahili people, we say that investing to women, you invest the world. That's why an issue investing required to consider gender analysis and gender equality so as to overcome the gaps between men, women, and girls. Invest now, not tomorrow. Together, we can. I would like to take this opportunity to sensitize the gender equality and be a mind for women and girls. The statistics shows that this strategy started by identifying and conducting training of 15 plus master trainers from the State University of Zanzibar, SUZA, Karume Institute of Science and Technology, KIST, Mikunguni Technical Secondary Schools, Fidel Castro Secondary School, Madungu Secondary School, Ziwani Secondary School, CCK Pemba, Uwondwe Secondary School, Mchanga Mdogo Secondary School, and 60 STEM teachers, also known as trainees in STEM projects of physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics, and 15 head teachers from participating schools, 10 teacher centers, coordinators, and subject advisors were also involved to strengthen in understanding of STEM education. This may help to improve the education system and livelihood of the community at large. Dear ladies and gentlemen, Milele Zanzibar Foundation also, in collaboration with Faraway Zanzibar, conduct 3 STEM camps for almost 75% of girls, start in 2 years, which include 15 schools from Unguja and Pemba, and more than 300 girls have been engaged. The government has increased the number of women in Barefoot College at Kibokwa and Karume to teach electricity issue and reduce dependence syndrome and overcome the mindset that science subject or science issue is special for men rather than women. A total of 34 women in 2019 up to 2020 were capacitated on electricity. A total of 6 villages, just known as Kigongoni, Ukongoroni, and Kendwa for Unguja, and Kuku, Muka, and Matale for Pemba. For those who are not familiar with this, we are most welcome you to come and visit Zanzibar so you can find Unguja and Pemba. Conducting assessment and need analysis of electricity by women from Barefoot College, and 12 women get the chance to learn. Not only that, vocational training authorities also conducted special program for women. In 2020 and 2021, 400 women were trained in seaweed farming and processing. Recently, under Generation Equality, we have also committed to further strengthen the engagement of girls in STEM. One of the key action areas is to establish innovation hubs and vocational training centers for girls, which entails identification of areas and communities where new gender-responsive innovation hubs and vocational innovation centers will be established, engaging both private and public stakeholders to participate in the establishment of gender-responsive innovation hubs and vocational innovation centers. Other actions also include a review of education curriculum and related strategies to ensure they are gender responsive. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the African Girls Can Code Program Phase 2 has come at just an opportune time, aligning with our country's vision and plan, and I believe the vision of all countries present here today. And we are very delighted that the United Republic of Tanzania has been given an opportunity to host the launch of this auspicious program. Thank you very much for that. In order to reach targeted young girls in the 11 countries, it is my pleasure learning that the launch was preceded by a 3-day training of trainers, which has created a pool of trainers who will provide trainings in the national coding camps in the year 2022 and 2023. I commend this training, and this pool of trainers will ensure standardized training module and teaching systems in those 11 countries. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy that the program will also support the Ministry of Education and Ministries of ICT in all 11 countries to mainstream ICT, gender, and coding into the national curriculum, which is in line with African Union's Science, Technology, and Innovation Strategy for Africa 2024. Declare an enabling environment for STI development on the African continent is one of the pillars for achieving the vision for Agenda 2063. It is so inspiring to also see how the trainers have planned to apply and transfer the STEM skills, enhanced digital skills, and strengthen ability to close the digital gender divide in their respective countries. We definitely need more women and girls in STEM to provide equal access to opportunity. That is a basic human right, and also make science, research, and innovation reflect our powerful perspectives and contribute to better decision making and equality. I had the pleasure of reading success stories of the girls that have participated in the African Girls Can Code Phase 1 and learned about their experience and how the African Girls Code program translates practical into their lives. I would like to bring some of my key takeaways from their read. I found a couple of things in what these young girls found important and useful from this program that I want to share with you. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the young girls are confident in the ability to use technology and innovation to create better and successful online content to build business, while at the same time promoting and reinforcing the sustainable development goals in those efforts. Reading about these young women, about their determination and really limitless potential has left a lasting impression on me. I have learned firsthand about these knowledge seeds that have been planted through the African Girls Can Code program, which are already sprouting into tangible ideas that improve self-esteem, livelihood, and communities. And I want to say this: we, the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar and the United Republic of Tanzania government together will formulate a special technical committee so as to follow up on this issue. And we are very committed on this. Also, finally but not least, I would also like to extend our sincere appreciation to UN Women, African Union, Commission, and International Telecommunications Unit for conceiving this program, and today we have witnessed the launch of the second phase. I also wish to thank the Embassy of Belgium for the general support, and of course including Tanzania as one of the benefiting countries. We are very happy for this, and we are hoping for your future mutual support with our governments. And I also want to say that our government will support on this more than 100%. Mwisho kabisa, naomba kusema kwamba African Girls Can Code Initiative second phase 2022-2023 launch is officially closed. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. And you are most welcome to visit Zanzibar. It's a beautiful island. There are a lot of, for example, on the Royal Sewer that our president, there are many things. When you just come there, you will say that you will no longer leave Zanzibar. So you are most welcome to Zanzibar. Tunasema Zanzibar ni njema, atakaye na aje. Karibuni sana, you will enjoy. Beautiful beaches, karafuu, harufu nzuri sana, uroje upo, and many things. Asanteni sana, wish you bon voyage. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, Honorable Riziki. And such a warm welcome to Zanzibar. Right? Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Riziki, for those closing remarks. So I've just been informed that unfortunately the program is going to run a little bit longer. Look at your faces, I'm joking. I was just trying to see how many are paying attention. No, but seriously, I think we deserve a round of applause as an audience. Another round of applause for our online participants as well. We've had quite a good number from the beginning to the end right now. I don't have more to say. Honestly, my names again are Carol Ndosi, and allow me to really appreciate your presence and your participation on behalf of Women Africa, UN Women Tanzania, but as well as the African Union Commission. I am informed that we have a short film that is going to be playing on the screens. So as you network, as you vacate the premises, you can take a few minutes to take a look at what we have for you on the screens. But other than that, asanteni sana and have a lovely day.
Sanbonani kamalam ninsizolo tuma. Girls Coding Initiative alumni ikamgagangwane Eswatini.
Habari, naitwa Teresa John kutoka Tanzania.
Assalamu alaikum. Maa ngi nuyu waa àdduna bi yëpp di nuyu sénégalais yi nga xam ne ñoo ngi seetaan. Maa ngi tudd Fatou Ndiaye.
Mahoneza nitukania Mwana Chantal ni software developer manager with the African Girls Can Code Initiative muri 2018.
Greetings. To me, being a young girl in ICT means being a role model, a leader to other African girls that share the same interest of defying odds created by our prideful cultures and stereotypes about what women are capable of.
Kuwa msichana katika sekta ya teknolojia ni kuwa daraja la mabadiliko katika jamii kwa kuchochea au kukuza maendeleo ya kiteknolojia.
maa ngi wax ci li nga xam ne mooy informatique xarale yu bees yi mu ngi am njariñ lool ci képp ci àdduna bi yëpp waxantawal ak ñi nga xam ne surtout si jigéen ñi.
Kuri njyewe umwari mu ikoranabuhanga ni iby'agaciro gakomeye cyane ko mbona amahirwe yo kwerekana ubushobozi bwanjye ndetse nanabishyira mu bandi.
Kuba inumbatana kuleli tiko lekuchumana kuqhamuka nemathuba lamaningi. Bantu besifazane kuleli tiko bancane kakhulu. Ngaloko ke kubavulela emathuba lamaningi ukuthi bakhone kufunda nekuthi bakhone kusebenza.
Ngabifuriza umunsi mwiza mpuzamahanga
maa ngi leen di souhaiter bonne fête des TIC jigéen ñëpp yi nekk ci àdduna bi yëpp jërë ngeen jëf.
Ninawatakia heri ya siku ya kimataifa ya wasichana katika ICT.
Ngingathanda ukuthi nginifisela lilanga lelihle le International Girls in ICT. Thank you. Ngiyabonga.
Once again, Happy Girls in ICT 2022 from me, Malera Dompahlelo of South Africa. Thank you.